Good morning, students. Today we are going to talk about another very interesting topic of your book, that is materials, metals and non-metals. Generally, when we look around, even in your house or in your school, you can see different kind of objects which are made up of different type of materials. So the elements can be classified as metals and non-metals on the basis of their properties. Metals like iron, aluminium, silver, copper, gold, and non-metals are like hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen. Then metals and non-metals have their physical as well as chemical properties. In this video, we will talk about metals and non-metals physical properties. This means physical appearance. The first property is luster. Metals have shining surface, so that's why they are called as lustrous. And you can see here, I will show you. You can see this spoon have shiny surface. You can see this gold ring which is also having a shining surface. So metals are those material, those elements which have shiny surface. And when I am talking about non-metals, non-metals do not have shiny surface. They do not have shining surface except iodine. Then hardness. Metals are generally hard. The material which is said to be hard, which cannot be easily compressed. When you just take a spoon in your hand, you will not able to compress it. So the material which are generally hard except sodium, lithium and potassium, which are soft and they can also cut with a knife. And when I am talking about non-metal, generally they are soft except diamond. Diamond is a very hard form of carbon, which is the hardest natural substance. Then we will talk about the state. Generally all the metal exists as a solid except mercury. You know mercury is there in the laboratory thermometer as well as clinical thermometers. So mercury, which is a liquid, all other metals are solid. Then non-metals exist as a solid or gases, and bromine, which is a liquid. Then we talk about another property which is malleability. You can see the metals can be beaten into a thin sheet. You can see in this diagram which is given in your book. When you beat the iron nail with the help of a hammer, it will become flattened. And you have seen the iron smith who is working on the tools of the iron. He put those tools in the red hot coal and then he beat with the help of a hammer and he convert those tools into the desired shapes. So this property is called as malleability. The properties of a metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheets. And you can see the aluminium foil in which you wrap your food. This is also an example of malleability. Non-metals are non-malleables. They cannot be beaten into thin sheets. Then malleability and silvers are very high malleability, so that's why they are used for making the ornaments. Ductility. Metals can be drawn into a thin wires called ductility. A wire of 2 kilometer length can be drawn from 1 gram of gold. So you can imagine the gold, the ornaments which we are wearing, your mother, your sister. So those gold ornaments, they are having very high power of ductility. Non-metals are non-ductile, they cannot be drawn into thin wires. Conductor of heat and electricity. Conductor of heat and electricity. So when I am talking about conductor of heat and electricity, we simply say the metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity. And you have experienced this. When your mother cooks the food, she put a pan, it is made up of steel, or either she put a pressure cooker on the burner of a gas. What will happen? It become hot. So heat is transferred from one part to another part. We have also learned this in our previous classes. This is called as conduction. Transfer of the heat from the hotter part to the colder part. And metals are the very good conductor of heat and electricity. To just clear this, I am going to show you one very simple activity. You can see it is a steel spoon. This is made up of metal, we can say, or either alloy. You can see a coin is attached to it, as well as some iron object is also attached to it, and I have attached them with the help of a wax. And when the heat is transferred to them, then what will happen? See, I'm just started heating one end of the spoon, and you will observe the heat is transferred from one part to the another part, and when heat is transferred, those material which is attached with the spoon, they will be fallen down. So this is the example of, we can say, conductor of heat. And the wires which are there in your house, they are also made up of copper or other metallic materials, because they are good conductor of electricity. So metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Just observe it carefully. When the heat is transferred, I am not hitting that particular place, but I am hitting the tip of the spoon, and you can see it has fallen down. So it is clearly indicate that metals are good conductor of heat, while the non-conductors are the poor conductor of the heat and electricity. There is a one exception, which is graphite, which is a form of carbon, which is a conductor of heat, conductor of electricity. And you know that it is also used in the lead of the pencil. When heat is transferred to this coin, this will also fallen down. Then we will talk about, in the meantime, this activity is going, we will talk about another properties of a metal, which is called as density. Generally, metals have high density, high melting point, except sodium, potassium, gallium or cesium. They do not have high melting point. I am also feeling little bit heat in my hand, because heat is transferred from one part to the another part, and you can see. So this is about the activity, and I hope it has cleared you that metals are good conductor of heat. For electricity, I have explained metallic wires which are made in your house, they are made up of metals. Then metals are sonorous also. When I am talking about the school bell which is there in your house, that doorbell also, that is also having some metals, and school bell which is also made up of brass. Likewise, I have a metallic container. When I beat it, these are called as sonorous. You can see this is the bell. So this property is called as sonorous property. So what is the meaning of sonorous? Metal produces a sound when they are striking with a hard surface. This is called sonorous. And non-metals are non-sonorous. So this is about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.